Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are your Bourbon Journey. Well, today we have a cornucopia of Bardstown we're going to be reviewing. We got these before the Kentucky Bourbon Fest. These two right here we acquired on Sunday. And this one here we went back 3 days later because we were told it would be dropped on Wednesday. And we picked it up then. So Rebecca will tell you about the bottles we'll be tasting today. And go ahead and give us a lowdown.
Let's start with the first one. We're going to do them one at a time. So we're going to start out with the Ferrand. So the 2025 collaboration blends Kentucky straight bourbon and rye before finishing in rare Ferrand Cognac casks that were shipped directly from Cognac, France. The result is a vibrant whiskey where American grain character meets the elegance and depth of cognac. The blend for this is 73% Kentucky, 9 years old. Typically, this mash bill is associated with Barton. 10% Kentucky, 11-year-old. That one is a little more difficult to nail down. 10% Kentucky, 12-year-old. This one was associated with Wild Turkey. And 7% of Bardstown Bourbon's own 6-year-old. And this is a blended straight whiskey. The youngest is 6 years old. The proof is 107. It was released on August 29th of 2025. It was finished for 15 months in Ferrand Cognac Casks. We purchased this on August 31st for $139.99 at Bardstown Bourbon Company in Bardstown. So we did taste each of these on that Sunday morning when we got there because we wanted to know, do we want one or do we need a backup bottle? And we'll tell you in a few minutes what we decided. But let's jump in on the cognac. The color looks nice.
It's like gold.
You can tell it's got some old whiskey in here, and it's also been sitting in some extra casks for a while. You do get that lovely sweet note of cognac. It's not overpowering though.
It is not, which is what I remember.
Yeah, what I recall from that day as well is that the first thing that hits your nose is the bourbon. And then you get the little sweet notes of the cognac. And it is forming terrific legs while we're enjoying the aromas. Cheers to the Ferrand collaboration. We can't wait to taste you again. I got a little nuttiness I was not anticipating.
I got brown sugar and I got nuttiness. And then I got cognac.
It did sit quite a few months in those casks, but I don't feel like it's overdone with cognac. The cognac is there, but I still feel it is definitely like whiskey forward. That's what I get the most of on the palate. And then it just says, by the way, I've got this sweet cognac thing happening. And I think that's where a lot of the really nice viscosity is coming in too. Like you said, the brown sugar notes, really good. And the nuttiness is almost like you're getting on the baking channel. They roast nuts and they put brown sugar and cinnamon on it. And that's what it's reminding me of.
It starts like bourbon and it finishes like cognac.
That's a good way to put it too.
It really does. It's very tasty. It's very different. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this would appeal to most bourbon drinkers. I know a lot of bourbon drinkers we've watched in Whiskey Tube tend to not be crazy about stuff that's finished and other things. But I think this is very enjoyable. And if you're a cognac drinker, I would definitely want to try this. I would love to hear from a cognac drinker.
Oh yeah. And I think it's tastefully done, not just on your taste buds, but they took care to make sure it wasn't, leading with the cognac. And I think it just makes a really nice compliment. So we did buy a backup bottle of this one because we liked it that day. And I'm glad because I think we will enjoy drinking this. And I would like to have this with a cigar.
I think it would pair really well with a cigar because cognac pairs well with a cigar.
Let's get to the little guy in the middle. And this one we've had a journey with because we wanted it for quite some time. And they're doing their distillery only releases on Wednesdays. That's it. And it's first thing in the morning. Now, we did discuss going to Louisville and getting it a couple of times, but that never really transpired. So we were thrilled that we were in Bardstown. That included a Wednesday, so we could get up bright and early and stand in line. And there weren't a ton of people there, but we all got got our bottles. And you can only get one every 6 months. They do scan your driver's license. So let me tell you a little bit about this one. This is the Hokkaido Japanese Mizunara Oak Barrel Finish. After blending a collection of 9 to 18-year-old aged whiskeys, the custom whiskey blend spent 28 months in 6 66-gallon barrels made of rare Japanese Mizunara casks. Mizunara oak trees are native to Hokkaido province. They grow twisted and slow in Japan's most remote forest with rich volcanic soil that imparts notes of spice and umami flavors. Their scarcity and remote locale, along with the technical difficulty of coopering the wood, makes each barrel a feat of true craftsmanship. So this is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey by Bardstown Bourbon Company. The proof is 109.3. It was released in July of 2025 in these little 375 milliliter bottles, and we purchased it on September 3rd for $99.99 at Bardstown Bourbon Company. And like I said, we tasted it several times at the Louisville tasting room, and each time we loved it. And we did not taste it again that day because we had tasted it a few times. And we've had a few things finished in the Mizunara now. We have something from Starlight and we have something from RD1. So let's revisit this one.
Okay.
It's a little bit darker than the other two, I do believe.
I would agree with that. It's like maybe a medium amber as compared to that being golden.
Yeah, it's leaning almost to a little bit of a mahogany color, but not quite there. It doesn't quite have that note. I am getting those notes of Mizunara, which Mizunara has like a sandalwood thing to it. And I know the RD1 always feels floral to me. This doesn't feel quite as floral as that one.
This is very sweet smelling.
It has sweet notes for sure.
But it doesn't smell like you've stuck your head in a flower vase.
But that second deeper nose I went that time, I was getting a little braver. I did get a little bit of floral notes. It's almost like cherry blossoms.
Well, that's the George Washington.
And legs have formed absolutely gorgeous legs on this. Very lovely viscosity. I'm ready to taste it. How about you?
Well, why not? You've described all the notes and I've just got bourbon, but anyway.
To the Hokkaido Mizunara. Cheers.
Cheers. And then barrel notes in there. Boom. It's a little dry. It's not as sweet on the palate as on the nose for me.
Oh, I would agree with that.
I'm going to try this again.
I find it a very complex palate. That's why I had to take a second sip before talking, because I felt like it was bouncing from here to there. And on second sip, I am getting some of those sweet notes that I didn't get the first time. So it's almost like my palate had to acclimate to it. And it's bouncing around between that Mizunara wood and the bourbon flavors for me. And I am getting just the lightest hint of a really dark cherry.
I'm getting cinnamon in the front. A lot of cinnamon in the front. I don't know if I drank it too quickly. I want to try this again.
The nose is really opening up. I did pour all these a couple hours ago because they were all fresh bottles and we knew we were going to be doing some videos today. So I want everything to have a chance to open up. But I do feel like the nose is getting more floral the more I smell it.
I'll tell you, this is very dry. It is very dry. To me, I'm still getting cinnamon. I don't find it as sweet. I don't find it bad. I find it
I'm
very
not finding
different.
it sweet, but I have sweet notes.
Okay. I don't find it bad. It brings me back to Cathedral in that Cathedral is very unique. And it's one on first taste, you might go, I don't want to do this again. It takes a little bit of time to grow on you. And I wouldn't discount this yet. I do think it's well made. It's not bad. It's definitely different than the cognac finish we just
heavens
started
to
off
Betsy,
with.
yes. But I was getting ready to say, as you said that, I was going to do a comparison myself, that looking at these special barrel finishes, which is what these distillery only releases have been about, I didn't feel like this one was as woody, as oaky, as dry as the Cathedral.
Oh,
But it has some of those barrel notes. But I'm enjoying these. I think it's a little more moderate than Cathedral is. And I'm not finding it as drying as you are. I don't find it to be sweet, but I have hints. They're almost like pops of a couple of sweet notes here and there, but it's primarily more of a very wood forward bourbon experience. So if you're not into barrel notes, if you don't really like a lot of wood notes, this might not be for you. It's not for everyone, for sure. Just like cognac's not for everyone. But I think there are times that I would really enjoy a pour of this. And I do think we should compare it at some point with the Cathedral and do them side by side, maybe another video. But
well, I personally, from what I remember of the taste of Cathedral versus this, I prefer Cathedral. But I really, really like barrel notes. And
yeah, he's an exception for barrel notes.
Yeah,
it is massively barrel notes. This one I feel has a few more bells and whistles. The Mizunara brings a little bit of light hint of cherry, a little bit of floral, and then you've got those notes, the cinnamon and the barrel notes that are quite good. But it's a very different pour. I don't think any of these three are going to be anything alike, which is a challenge for us, but we were up for the challenge today. So
I do think it's worth it. It sounds like I was really negative, and honestly, I'm not. It's probably one of those ones that the second time I do it, it's going to open up a whole lot more. It's not one of those after tasting it first time that I'm going to say, nah, I don't want to ever taste this again. And this is one I definitely would return to because I don't think it's done yet. And I know I say it a lot. This one I really think is not opened.
I do think it's good if you're in either Louisville or Bardstown on a Wednesday morning or staying over on a Tuesday night. You don't have to line up like at 6 in the morning or anything like that. We lined up at 7:30, I think, and they opened at 9. And we could have probably lined up at 8:15 and probably would have been fine. But I do recommend it. Again, it's not a cheap bottle because it's $100 for a $375. That's a $200 bottle when you talk about full size. But I enjoyed it, and I'm really glad we have it for our Bardstown collection. So now we're going to go into the final one, which I might have been the most excited about because we have been really big fans of the Discovery series, and it's been a hot minute since they released one. So let's talk a little bit about Discovery 13. They're calling Discovery 13 a lucky twist on tradition, marking the first double-barreled expression in their award-winning series. This is a Kentucky bourbon with a transatlantic touch. Kentucky straight bourbons were aged between 8 and 15 years and then joined to create a harmonious blend. For 4 months, 60% of the blend rested in new American white oak barrels. The remaining 40% aged in premium Hungarian oak barrels. With a tighter grain, the Hungarian oak barrels were stored at a higher floor to promote extraction. Meanwhile, the American oak barrels, which yield a lot of flavor quickly, rested on lower level floors to ease the flavor into the profile. After 4 months of finishing, the barrels were then reunited, blended together to create this particular profile. To talk about the most complex mash bill here, it is 45% 9-year-old Kentucky that is associated with Barton Distillery. It is 22% 9-year-old Kentucky associated with Heaven Hill. It is 20% 15-year Kentucky associated with Wild Turkey. And it is 13% 8-year-old Kentucky associated with their sister company, Green River. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. The youngest is 8 years old. It is 110.8 proof, and it was released on August 29th of 2025. And we purchased it on August 31st, just 2 days later, for $139.99 at the Bardstown Bourbon Company in Bardstown. So again, we had an opportunity to taste this there that day, and I think we shared tastes, as I recall. So we did an ounce of each, and then we shared them. So we're going back and forth. So this is our first really good, it's in our own glass, get to taste and nose it and everything. But fascinating blend. Got a lot of really great distilleries in there. All of them I really like a lot. I'm curious about this one. And the Hungarian oak, we've only had Hungarian oak from Old Louisville Whiskey Company. And we've had a few things from Amin there, and we've always enjoyed the finish of a Hungarian oak. So I'm super curious to see what, I think it was the 40% blend was in on Hungarian oak. So it's a nice, lovely color. It's a darker amber or maybe a light mahogany.
Oh, there's a lot of sweetness that comes up.
It smells like Kentucky bourbon. Oh, yeah.
There's brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
A little vanilla.
A hint of caramel. And maybe some sort of dark fruit.
Possibly cherry.
Which wouldn't be surprising with the biggest percentage being most likely Barton. That has a lot of cherry notes typically.
One thing's for sure. There's a 20% chance that I'm going to really love this. Because I'm a big wild turkey person.
Well, the legs are beautiful. So on our little tasting glass that we had that day, we didn't get a chance to do this, but these legs are fantastic. So cheers to Bardstown. Cheers to Disco 13. May you forever be lucky. Cheers. That may be my favorite pour of the three.
All I can think is, let's dance the last dance. So Donna Summer now going through my head or whatever. And if you're from the 70s, wherever, and you remember the disco era, of course, disco died then. But anyway, this is really good.
It's good. It's really good. I mean, it's got some nice age on it. It's their first time they've double barreled and then blended. I'm getting some of those notes from the Hungarian. You can tell it had something besides New American oak.
I get a little cherry on it.
Yeah, the cherry's coming through now in the flavor, and that's probably from the Barton.
There's some black pepper in there. For those of you that like black pepper like me, it's there. It's got a little bit of baking spices in it. For myself, I'm leaning toward a brown sugar.
Yeah, brown sugar is definitely there, and I think there's a light cinnamon as the baking spice. And not heavy, not dark. It's very pleasant. It's almost cinnamon and brown sugar, right? Which is a really good combo. And then as it sits on my palate a little bit, it's almost mocha-ish because I'm getting a little hint of coffee and a little hint of dark chocolate. It's not dominant.
Oh, shucky darns,
not
I'm not getting
dominant.
that.
Not dominant, and I'm just getting a hint. So try again.
Okay, well, hopefully my palate will be staying alive.
I love how all the fans nicknamed the Discovery Series Disco. I just think that's fun. We have watched a couple reviews on this. Not very many, though. We haven't seen it because it just came out on the August 29th and we got it on the 31st. Granted, it's been a little while now because we had to get back from the festival and all that. But some people didn't like it, and I'm finding that interesting because it's all Kentucky bourbon this time, and I'm really enjoying the extra Hungarian oak finish on it. I think it's different. It might be a little darker. I think Disco 12 was a little sweeter, a little more fruity. So I can see where, and 10 and 11 were sweeter. So I can see where some people, if you're really into super sweet bourbon, this might not hit your buttons as much.
If you want a fruity bourbon, you know, you want to walk through an apple orchard, an orange orchard, or whatever, this is not it.
But it's great. I mean, it's not drying. It's got the sweet notes, but it's got some other nice, really darker kind of bourbon notes. I think it's great timing. I know it came out at the end of the summer, but heading into the fall, I think this is going to be a great fall sipper. A great fall sipper. I'm really liking it. So we did get 2 bottles of that as well because we almost always buy 2 of all Discoveries because we do tend to drink them. Yep. So if you're going to drink it, you might as well get a second one because you just don't know when it's going to be back out. I don't know if you noticed when I was showing the picture of the bottle, but it's got almost a disco look to the 13. You almost can't read Discovery 13 on there because it's got a hologram thing going on, which is cool. I think they're paying homage to the fact that everybody calls it disco. So I thought that was cute. What's your favorite out of the 3?
I'm going to go back to the day we were there. We actually talked about this. We did our 1 ounce pour, and I liked this one. That was my favorite of the 2. I would go and order this and this.
I agree.
This is just different. Once again, 6 months from now, if we've had it a couple more times, I might flip on these. I don't know. But this one here, if you like Kentucky bourbon, this one here is it.
It hits the buttons.
And the Hungarian wood, and there's something about that really has changed this up and made this combination of 4 great distilleries really work together.
For me, I think the Distillery Only series is very interesting. I do want to try to get as many as possible. We didn't sign up for their membership programs. We don't live in Bardstown, but so far we've been lucky to get the first two. And I do look forward to seeing how they evolve over time. It's not a daily drinker. It's going to be a special occasion or something you want to pull out to see what they're doing, how they're breaking boundaries with wood finishing and such. And when you have a real bourbon drinker visiting, you'd share that. You wouldn't share someone that's new to bourbon. You wouldn't share this one because they're probably going to be like, whoa, what is that? The cognac finish, the Ferrand, I am looking forward to trying it with a cigar. It's going to be more of a special occasion drinker, I think, because you want to be in the mood for something that's finished with cognac. Now, this guy here, Disco 13, that could be a daily drinker as far as I'm concerned. It is so good. I could reach for it. It's a nice proof point, and I love the balance. I love all the notes that's happening with it, and I think it's going to be great going into the fall.
I would totally agree, and I know you're right because you're more than a woman.
He's still on his disco songs. Well, let's wrap her up. I'm going to grab Disco 13 to wrap up with.
I'll be a little bit different. I will give it to the second place finisher because there's a little bit more. The cognac. So cheers to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Always great stuff. Always a wonderful place to visit. If you haven't been there, you need to go.
Oh, yes.
If you like what we do, hit the subscribe button. Always remember to drink responsibly and have a great day. And for today, drink some Bardstown. Cheers.
Cheers.